guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Michelle. Feeny the adventure dog is actually currently cuddled up snoozing. I'll try to get a video of that for you. And the last time I left you guys, I didn't plan on making a video. I was sitting in the back seat or the back of my car crying heavy tears. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you check that out. I promise, it's not all of me crying. But then I got to thinking that before I checked out tomorrow morning, I wanted to give you guys a walking tour of Molas Lake Campground. It's not the most stunning weather right now, but even at the worst of weather, Molas Lake Campground is amazing. It's actually rated top in the nation. I don't know who did that rating, but I 100% agree. Just with how stunning it is, because there's no cell service, it totally disconnects you. And even though the website is great, has a great map, and has really good little tidbits, I found myself scouring the internet before the first time I stayed here, trying to just find photos of certain spots just to kind of get an idea of what it looked like, because you just can't tell. So I thought, you know what, let's just do a quick little walking tour of Molas Lake Campground. I'll tell you a little bit about it, show you the different areas, so that if you're looking to stay here, you have a little bit more of an idea of what spot to choose, and based on the spot you have, what would be the best equipment to bring. So let's go ahead and go on a little bit of a walking tour. All right, when you pull in, every camper has to stop at the office. The office is also a camp store. It has firewood, ice, water, miscellaneous items, and they also have showers, which are $5 for 4-minute showers. Super hot, apparently. But you check in there, you get your roll of toilet paper, which is awesome, your very own, and then you can move past the big old stop sign. So that's a nice thing, is that only registered guests are allowed past the stop sign. Any day use has to go that way. So this is the day use area. She's usually got a lot more shore. This is the highest the lake has been since 2012. So usually a lot more shore, but you can rent kayaks, paddle boards, you can bring your own, you can fish, have a little picnic, taking the views, which even on a cloudy day, are stunning. You have a big rig, you are definitely limited. That's one of the only areas. There's a couple there, and then there's a big old gravel pit way over there. And as you can see, that big rig fit nowhere, so they're just hanging out there for the night. So 550 is right above there, so you definitely get some road noise here, but very minimal. But those guys must hear it quite a bit. So big rigs, be wary. You don't have much of a space. See, there's 550, and it's also 0 hookups. So here is where the main road goes. You veer left for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you veer right here. All of these are the premium lakefront spots, and they're also what I would consider good for group spots. So specifically the spots up here, there were multiple people in those when I arrived, like multiple groups. So this is like P36 or P30. My eyes aren't great. Nice small back ends. Yep, my teardrop will fit y'all. So these I definitely think are your premiums, because you are right on the water. So P30, 31, and 32. Before we go up to that group spot up here. So that starts at P34, and as you can see, they're really close together. So when I first pulled in, there were 2 people that were together in here, so this would be great for a group. I didn't catch this, that P35 backs up against those other 2, so if you had a group of 3, that would be a great little spot. All right. Here are more premiums right up. Super cute little back in there for his casita, little Subaru. Oh, I like that. All right, so 14 is my personal fave, and that's actually what I had booked for this trip. But because, as you can see, it's in the shade the whole day, it was gonna be really cold. So I wanted sun, so we changed it but it's got great privacy and it has its own little walking path back there. Super pretty. Highly recommend 14. You've got more of the privates. Also a great one, and this is starting to lead you back into a much more shaded area. I'm not going to be able to walk through all these because they kind of interweave with each other, but you have more along the lake, and then you have some set away from the lake. Anything on this left-hand side is pretty private because you have everything behind it. So if you have a dog that you want to have some off-leash freedom, definitely get something on the left-hand side. Be very careful though, as you can see by the tilt of this truck. They do go uphill, most of them. And if you're a car camper like I am, no bueno. So coming into some more, you can see here too, that one, the angle goes pretty substantially down, so it would be a little uncomfortable. P40, tent only. Well, I lied. I can show you guys these because nobody's in here. So this is a area that I camped in once, was not a fan of it because it's super tight. So this is like 17, 18, 19, and it's 17 wouldn't be bad, but I had 19, and as you can see, the regular parking area goes up and down. So I found this like little offshoot, but it was really muddy, so just wasn't a good one for car camping. Okay, there are some people up here. So there's 17B, which would be great for groups, and then there's some more that go up this road. There's one off to the right. There's somebody there. It's a dead end, so I'm not gonna be super awkward. Sometimes there is a site up here. Right now there's not because of all of the snow and everything, so a lot of times they close this one because of all the mud. So as you can see, 19 was very, very muddy for me. Was not a super huge fan. Oops, there's somebody up here too, so I actually won't turn around. But this was the only spot I could put my car, and as you can see by the fact that there are twigs, it got really muddy. The good thing, and there's somebody up here, so, and it's a private spot. There is a spot up here, 20B. It's not always open, so just be cautious. It gets super muddy, but it has an epic view. It's all by itself. You probably will get like dog owners trying to bring their dogs up there to run, but beyond that, super, super private. So this is just that view of kind of how tight these ones are, and they're very, very shaded. Every little circle, I guess, does have their own bathroom and trash can, which you do get toilet paper for, which is really nice. There is also extra parking here or there for those small sites that if you have 2 cars, I guess I could finish that. So this site wasn't even here last time. So it looks like they did some work. This is 21. This would be great. Nice and private. Pretty shaded. Oh, I lied. Not private at all. There's a campsite right there. And 2 right there. So yeah, 20, not private at all. And it actually goes, it's huge. Kind of a weird site, actually. Scratch my remarks about 20. Wow, this was way back. I guess it would be a great one for groups. So look at 20 and kind of look around if you're looking for a group. Cool thing is the other side of the lake gets a different mountain view. So it doesn't really matter what camp spot you have. You're gonna have some sort of view once you head out for a little walk. Just depends on what peak. 25 right there. Great spot. Lakes right there. More of your premium spots up here. Wow. I'd say this one's hella premium. Oh, wow. Your closest neighbor is down there. Wow. Not super RV friendly, unless you want to be a ways away from your table. Dead end past here where that bathroom is. I think that's the worst spot by the bathroom. I don't know what number that is, but just kind of look at the roundabout at the very end down the hill from P45, right by the restroom. Unless you really have to use the restroom a lot. I don't know, not my cup of tea. It has a great view, but not ideal. So that's this side, man. It looks like we got some snow coming. It is the middle of June, y'all. The middle of June. So as we walk back, let's talk prices. So prices at Molas Lake Campground range anywhere from, I believe, $18 up. $30 seems to be about the average, 28-ish. It kind of depends on what you're bringing, what site you pick, and when you're coming, I think. I think it does shift during holiday weekends. So for 3 nights, for me, it was $82. So not the world's cheapest, but definitely not the world's most expensive. There are no hookups, so you're not getting those. There is no cell service. You will get occasional pockets outside of the campground, but just put your phone on airplane mode because that's all you're getting. I don't know if you could get a Starlink to work. There are lots of obstructions. So iffy there. Wi-Fi booster or cell signal booster, I don't even think would work. Just based on all the obstructions that are around you. But I'll tell you next year when I try with my Starlink. One thing I like to do, this is my 3rd year staying here, is I like walking and finding new sites and writing them down. So as I've been sharing these sites with you, I write down which ones would work, especially now that I'm looking at a teardrop, because there definitely are site specifics. And if you go on their website, sorry, it's cold, there are pretty good descriptions, but you can also call. They are super friendly here. So just call, say, hey, I'm towing this, or I have this, like what would be a good site? And they will definitely. My arm was getting tired and I broke my tripod. I know, on the first day here. So here comes that wind again, so I hope you can hear me. Wow, it just keeps coming. You are on a mountain pass, so this happens on a pretty regular basis. It's okay, Boo. It's okay. It's okay. He does not like these big wind gusts. But one thing I did want to point out, because this is probably very deceiving how empty this is. I'm here mid-June. Generally, it is booked. I book my camp spot about 4 months in advance, sometimes 5, 6 if you really want to get what you want. It opens, I think, in January for the June season because they open June 1st. The reason it's so empty right now is, I believe, because of the weather. It is historically cold. The snow has kept roads, you can see all the wind, wow, has kept roads closed. So OHV, Paradise here, a lot of those passes are still closed. So people have probably put off their trips till a little bit later in the year. The one downside is when I pulled in and she asked me if I wanted to switch sites because mine was very cold, there were only 2 available online. But as you can just see by walking by, there's a ton available. So Molas has a pretty strict cancellation policy. I think once you're like past 90 days purchase, you can't cancel. So that means a lot of these people probably canceled, but they don't show open on their website. So I do try to call and say, hey, I'm not gonna make this day, or hey, I'm leaving early, just so that if there's a walk-in, they can give my spot away. But that's, I think, the exception and not the rule. So it's a little sad that they couldn't reopen some of these for maybe people who wanted to come. But just keep that in mind when you're booking, that the cancellation policy, I believe, is 90 days from purchase, and then you're done. You can't cancel. So money under the bridge. It's not a lot of money, but still, I've lost quite a bit over the years because I've had to cancel, or I arrived a day late, or the weather was god-awful and I chose to stay in a hotel, something like that. The teardrop will save that. But regardless, just keep that in mind that it is usually really booked. They open June 1st, and I believe booking opens
January. So if you want to get a very specific spot, like if you see a spot on here and then you go check out the map and read the reviews and you're like, oh, yep, that's perfect, definitely look in January for your preferred weekend, knowing that if you have to shift here or there, you may lose a little money. We're back at the main road. If you flip here, you've got 1, 2, 3 in the start of the loop. So we are in 1, which is that sneaky little premium and non-premium ocean view, lake view, 0 privacy. So that's a problem. Don't pick that one. 2 would be a great one. It's a little more private. It'd be a great pull through with a small tow behind, because you could literally just loop into it. It's a great little loop-de-loop. It is on my list. And its seating area is nice and private with a great view. You have 3, which is not private at all. Would make with a good group one with those P30s, but not private at all. And then we head this way. Obs 4 and 5 are up here. Both epic. I have stayed in 5. 5 is amazing. I'll try to remember to put video if I have it of 5, because there's people in it and it's kind of step in.
Now that is coffee with a view. Oh, I'm so sad I didn't get to enjoy this that much. Because the first night we got here at 3 and it was raining, and it rained till the next morning, and then yesterday we left at 4 in the morning. But the car's up there parked. It's nice and protected. It's private, totally flat. That would be a great tent spot. I had my rain shelter there. It's dry, so I just put it away just in case. We had a sprinkle last night, but we did it. And then, yeah, there's so much room for like another tent. And then, I mean, this view, and you've got people right there, but they can't really see your site. And then campsite 4 is not till like way down, so you have a lot of privacy and one hell of a view.
But here's 4. This is a great one as well. I could get a camper in there. You definitely could get a camper in there. Great little spot. Really close. That's our bathroom. Really close to that. That remaining top loop in the morning, there's like a lot of people up there. Those are also the walk-in tent sites up there. So it looks like just a whole group got a bunch of sites because they're out partying and playing. And I just feel a little rude and weird walking around recording them. And some of the best sites are up there for if you have a tow behind, like, and you want to back in. 10 out of 10. Not much privacy, but if you have a tow behind, you have a bathroom and place to hang, doesn't really matter. But so that's it for now. We'll catch you in the morning for just the final piece. All right, it's morning. Nobody's awake. So there is 5, and it steps down in, which is a really cool spot. And then 6, 7, 8 would be great for your groups, and that's what was going on last night. And 8 I think would be the best, because this would be your view. This would also be your most likely chance to get Starlink, I think, is 8. And then here is the parking area for the walk-in sites, which follow that little path. And then here's where the big old party was going, was 9 and 10. And I believe 11 are all together. These spots are okay. That one wouldn't be so bad. It actually is pretty big, but they are not private. There's 11 and a half. So keep an eye out for those. So if it says a half, it most likely is connected and like real close. So that's what that is. It's 11 and 11 and a half. 12 is right here. And then the only ADA accessible is right here. And it's actually a really, really nice site. And then You get your loop back, finishes it off your loop, and we'll head back down to one down there, trying to give you a lay of the land. I just got to put this together right. But I hope you enjoyed this tour. I hope it helps as you choose your spot here, or just I hope it helped you choose Molas Lake as an amazing place to come and stay and enjoy all the Juan's has to offer.